Hey YouTube, welcome back. Um, okay, so this is I guess part 6 of our system design fundamentals series. So basically, I will just go to make like a quick recap. Basically, we had the client. We had designed this system that the client can access the 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 web tiers through the load balancer, and the client get the load balancer IP address from a domain name service that is provided by a third parties basically. So this is not available. This is not on our servers basically. And once the load balancer receives the request from the clients, it distribute the incoming requests to multiple web tiers, to multiple web servers, to make sure that there is no web server had a more has overload, or maybe has no loads at all. And if one of our web server just fell down, the load balancer know how to send its request to other web servers. So we make sure that we are available, and we have the consistency, and we have the maximum availability, and also the performance is getting better in our web tier. The last episode we talked about how we handle the data tier and how to make the data tier quite scalable basically. So basically we used to use the master slave relationship. Basically we have one master and two slaves, and we could add more than two slaves. So basically we have the slaves are serving the write operation, the read operation, and the masters receive the write operation. And once the master get a new write, it will send them, it will update the new slaves. And if one of the slaves fell down, the master will only work with the other slave that is working, and all the other read operations go into it. If the master fell down, so basically one of the slaves will be promoted as a new master, and will serve the write operations. And yeah, everything looks good. So basically, right now we have basically a solid understanding of the web tier and the data tier. And I guess it's time to improve the latency and the load response time. Basically, this can be accessed by two things. First is to add a cache, and the second is to add a CDN. In this video, we'll only talk about the cache. Basically, a cache is a type of high-speed memory that is used to store frequently accessed data, or recently used data for rapid access. A cache can be implemented basically in software, hardware, or a combination of both basically. And it's commonly used in system design to improve performance and redundancy, and reduce the latency. Basically, the cache work by storing a copy of data that has been recently accessed or expected to be accessed again. When the system needs to access the data again, it can retrieve it from the cache rather than from its original source, which is typically way more slower. This can significantly reduce the time request to access the data, and can improve the system. So let's just take an example here. So basically, I want to copy this one. No. Yeah. No. Okay, let's just copy. Okay, so basically we have this our web server, and we will create a new thing that let's just make it this one. And let's assume that it's not like that, and it's let's make it quite small. It's so big. Why is it that big? And it will be called cache, and basically cache, and we have our own. Let's just say that we wanna no copy and have this one. Okay, so basically how the cache works basically, so we have this one, we have the web server basically when it has a new request or had new data to ask for. So physically we ask the cache. If we find the data in the cache, we send it back directly. Okay, if we didn't find the data to the cache, we continue, and the cache will ask from it in the from the database and store it and store it temporarily basically, because it's in memory storage, and send it to the web server. So basically this is how actually it works in a big level basically. So let us talk about how we will do it. So let's just delete that and that and that and this and this, and let's just cut this one and copy here. And basically what will happen that it will be the same basically. It will be our own let us get this one. So basically our own servers will connect with the cache, and yeah, basically that's it. And this is how we improve actually the latency. And there are some things that we have to put in mind when we have the cache actually. First of all, we should decide when to use the cache, because actually if like considering using cache when data is read frequently, and only when data read frequently. And also it's quite important to make sure that we access the data that read frequently and modified infrequently. So make sure that our data is quite consistent and quite reliable. We are not showing or not getting old data that isn't there. Basically, because actually the cache data is stored in validated memory. Basically, a cache server is not ideal for like persisting the data. For basically, if a cache server restores, basically all of the data will be like deleted. So basically we should store all the data that we are frequently access a lot, and we are not changing this data that much basically. The second thing is quite important is the expiration policy. It's a good practice to make sure that our expiration policy is not too short and it's not too long. If it's too short, that basically we are not using the cache. Each time we will try to get data from the cache, it will be quite empty. Too long, that means maybe we have some data that are not reliable because maybe it was changed in the data tier, but this wasn't implemented in the cache, so our data will not be consistent basically. And basically it's quite important the other thing, that because we only have one cache server, is to make sure that we have to handle the failures, because we have only one cache server, or now I guess we have a center point of failure. So one of the things that is to create multiple cache servers across all of the other servers, to make sure that we are as reliable as possible. And yeah, that's it for the cache. And the next episode the next video, sorry, we'll talk about the content delivery in your network and how to improve. And I guess it will be quite a long video. So yeah, that's it for today's video. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and fill the notification bell so you will never miss a video. And yeah, see you in next video.